Hey, podcaster. Well, what a show we had. We asked for our forbidden folder. Have you been pepper sprayed? Incredible stories there. We also did what we did a few weeks ago, what went wrong at the funeral, but it's so good and it delivered yet again. Plus, we held our own Tony Awards, so stay tuned for that. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You ready?
stop what you're doing and listen.
Live across Australia. Higgins Radio. This is Ben, Liam, and Bell on Nova.
Good evening, Australia. It's a Monday, the start of a new week. Now, look, not to be a bit of a Debbie Downer on the start of the show, but of course you would have seen the riots over in America. There was an Australian journalist who actually got shot by a rubber bullet. If you haven't seen the footage, it's wild. This is the audio of it.
You just shut the f***. You okay? I'm good.
Now, she took it like a champ. She is good. She is okay.
She's good.
But we thought it's the perfect excuse to do this in the Forbidden Folder tonight. Have you ever been sprayed by pepper spray? Mace is the other word. I think capsicum spray is the same thing.
Yeah, we're not going to do like being, shot with bullets, but one thing we've always wanted to do was pepper spray. We've always wanted to speak to someone 13, 24, 10 who's been sprayed by pepper spray because I feel like it's only in the movies or in TV shows. I've never seen
Definitely
it.
not only in the movies.
Well, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, and I'd like to speak to someone who has.
I've got a friend on my brother has a friend
Oh, yeah?
who got pepper sprayed, and this is a true story. They were doing something that they shouldn't be doing. They were in the car, and they were young, and they were old enough to drive, but they were young. So they're probably like 16,
I
17.
feel like you're really distancing yourself from this, but yeah, okay.
They were driving, and then they were like yelling at other people in cars. So they were like, at the red lights, they'd be like, ah, and they'd drive away.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
When you're 16, though, that is good.
It's
That's good
very
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
And so they were doing this, and they got to a set of red lights, and another car caught up to them, and they stuck their head out the window to yell, not knowing it was the same car. The other person had pepper spray.
Really?
And they tell the story that it was so close that he felt the nozzle of the pepper spray graze across his eyes as he sprayed.
That's
like point blank.
Yeah, that's
be
point
blind.
blank pepper
And then
spray.
it was so strong that even though the person in the back seat hanging out the window was the one that got pepper sprayed, the entire car got gassed. They couldn't breathe. They had
Oh
to
my
pull the
God.
car over. For an hour, they were incapacitated.
Well, yeah, they were basically like hotbox with pepper spray.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, 13, 24, 10. If you've ever been sprayed by with pepper spray, we do have prizes up for grabs to our favourite caller.
I've heard that cops sometimes will use it on their food.
It needs a little bit of a kick or
Yeah,
something. You're like,
and it
oh.
works. But apparently it's really strong and it makes your eyes water.
Okay.
They do.
Is that a thing?
That's
They
not
do.
a thing.
They
And
do.
do they taser it if they need to warm it up as well? Emma in Melbourne, you've been pepper sprayed.
Yes, I had to do it as part of my police training, actually.
Oh, so okay, so that's just what Belle was saying there. So, and do you also spray it in your food sometimes to spice it up, or is Ben talking at his bum?
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Emma, so when you do it as part of your training, what do you like? Do you have to just stand there and then like they just go, "All right, Emma, you're going to be shot by, Lauren. Lauren, stand there and just do it." Like, how does it work?
No. The instructors have to spray you, and you have to. It depends. Every police force is different, but I had to identify two people, open my eyes, and then like fight someone. I suppose that was trying to take something off my belt.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
so it was like a combat scenario.
Yeah, like it goes for ages before you're allowed to wash it off.
Oh, whoa! So, and what? Like, run us through it. Like, what is the pain level like? Is it unlike anything you've experienced?
It's different for everyone, but obviously the more pale skin you have, the worse it is. And I don't know, for me, it just felt like an instant headache, like I'd just been kicked in the face. And every time you wash it with water, it reactivates it. So you just have to literally keep shoving your head in buckets and standing under a shower to get rid of it because it's got oil in it that stays in your eyes.
Oh. And like, can you go blind from it? Like, can it have lasting effect, or is it?
No.
No. That's kind of why it's a safe.
Yeah, it's like made up of like the hottest chilies and things like
Yeah,
that.
right. You didn't have to go into detail of if you have, but have you ever had to use it in the field?
Yeah, and I mean, that's another thing. You get sprayed all the time on the job, so...
As in, so like if you're spraying like a perp, you might get a bit on you type thing.
Just splashback.
Oh, no, if someone else is... You're in a wrestle and your partner sprays them, it's 100% going on you as well.
Friendly fire.
I get what you
no.
mean. Oh, yeah, thanks for that one, Jason. My third time being pepper sprayed this week.
Thanks so much, Emma. We've got another one. Joe, also in Melbourne. Good evening. You've been pepper sprayed?
Not exactly. I actually bought a self-defense keychain a few years ago, which actually came from America. And I thought, I'm going to test it out and see if it's actually that bad. I did it inside the house in the sink, and I almost killed everyone in the house.
So, hang on.
The worst thing ever.
So you didn't even spray it on you. You just like sprayed some of it out in the sink, and it ripped through the whole house. Like everyone was like, "This is insane."
Exactly right. I had to tell everyone to get out of the house so that it wouldn't kill us all, including the dogs as well.
Oh, my gosh. Joe, have you kept it on your keys?
So I've still got it in the house. I kind of hid it so that I didn't have to, use it again because I was just afraid after all of that. I honestly couldn't tell you where it is in the house.
Oh, okay.
Joe, if you could find it, do you reckon we could borrow it?
I mean, if I can find it.
Are you thinking pepper spray roulette?
I'm thinking pepper spray roulette.
Oh, could you imagine?
Either that, we put it on our eggs.
No one's eating it.
You're listening to Young Kings, Ben and Liam. Oh, yeah, Belle's there too.
The most wild thing ever happened to me on the plane today, Ben and Belle. Sitting in the emergency row, bit of a hero. And, they give you the briefing just before they take off, and they ask you that question. Are you willing and able to help in an emergency?
Yeah.
And what do you say?
Yes.
Yes. That's what you say. Everyone says yes.
Everyone.
Everyone always says yes.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, you just want the extra leg room. Today, a guy in my row said no.
Oh, no.
They're like, in the unlikely event of an emergency, are you willing and able to help? And he said no. The guy said no.
You were already seated?
So you would think normally they have to do that anyway. You have to be asked at another point. That's why I was kind of confused. But he also looked pretty put together. He was like wearing a suit, looked like a regular guy who was unwilling to help in the unlikely event of an emergency. And that's the thing. Not only are you playing yourself because you're getting a worse seat, you also look like a massive coward and a loser to everyone else because he then had to stand up and they moved him. There was like a couple of spare seats at the back and they moved him to the back of the plane near the toilets with all the other people who aren't able to help in an emergency.
The others that they'll leave behind in the plane and go, these people can stay.
I always say yes.
Yeah.
But if push came to shove, the shit hit the fan, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think everyone's in there like, I'm so ready. Like, I will, I'm totally listening. I know how to take I would be looking at it like, what am I doing?
Did he look scared?
He did look a bit scared. He just sort of,
It was just like a finance bro that was just like, nah. I don't know.
He looked like he had I don't know, kids at home. Like, he looked like,
How tall was he?
He actually was
sub 6 foot?
To be fair, he had a bigger frame than me. But you know what? It's about what's in here that counts, mate. It's inside the heart.
It's a
heart
dog
of a
in the
lion.
fight.
That's it.
After BAFTA, it's the Ben Liam and Belle podcast.
How's this? This poor woman is being ripped apart online currently. She posted this story and it's blown up everywhere. She went to the funeral of her mother-in-law, so her husband's mum, and she brought along her 2-year-old child, their 2-year-old child. Now, she sat in the pews in the church and literally within half an hour, the 2-year-old cracked a huge tantrum and ruined the whole funeral. She then left for a little bit, but thought, no, I want to see the funeral, came back inside and sat with the child having a tantrum for the rest of the funeral. Now, people online have been like, you shouldn't have come back in, you shouldn't have brought the child, you ruined it, that's her funeral, how dare you? But this is a great opportunity for us to do one of our favourite talkbacks.
A nice uplifting one on a Monday night.
Happy Monday, guys.
Oh, yeah. 13, 24, 10. What went wrong at the funeral? To say this is one of our favourite talkbacks is an understatement. We did it a few weeks ago, and it was incredible.
I had my dog down the beach, and these people decided they wanted to spread the ashes down at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this beautiful big floral wreath that they then threw out onto the ocean over the ashes, and my dog just took off, bolted about a kilometre down the beach.
Organised for Andrea Bocelli to be playing beautifully in the background.
Lovely.
But unfortunately, it clicked into Highway to Hell.
One of my best friend's uncle's funeral, he was a really big bloke and he had to have a special coffin made. But we went to the burial bit and they didn't dig the hole big enough to put the coffin in.
Heavens, he must have been a big fella.
Anyway, we walked away and then we could hear the backhoe and they were digging the hole.
You guys got to pay extra if you want a bigger hole.
You're going to have to get 2 plots.
They were some of the best calls of the year.
Oh, totally. So when this story popped up, oh my goodness, yay. 13, 24, 10, we get to do it all again. What went wrong at the funeral? Tanya, good evening. What happened?
So my friend's grandfather passed away, and so we buried him, went back to the wake, and it was all great. And we were sitting around eating and drinking and reminiscing. And his best friend was laughing his head off, and all of a sudden he just dropped. He had a massive heart attack, and he actually died at the wake.
Whoa. Now, how old was he?
Oh, he was in his 70s, but still, to think that his best friend died at his wake.
Look, to
and
be
so
honest,
we all had to go to the funeral a few days after that, like a week.
I'm sorry for laughing, but at least you already had like the outfit sorted.
That's
you knew the
it.
location.
The sandwiches were still good, you know.
and you can see the nice silver lining of like, at least he now didn't have to live without his best friend. You know, they both went quickly.
Their wives weren't too happy about it, but they're playing golf in the sky now.
Non in Sydney, what went wrong at the funeral?
Well, unfortunately, my mother passed away a few years ago, and her dying wish was to be spread underneath a frangipani tree in the back garden. So the whole family gathered around to watch my dad gather my mum's ashes under her favourite frangipani tree. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a windy day, so a few of the ashes sort of blew into a few people's faces. And it also blew onto my dad's black sneakers that he was wearing on the day. My dad decided, my sneakers are looking a bit dusty now, so he grabbed the old Black & Decker Duster Buster and vacuumed the dust, i.e. my mum's ashes, off of his sneakers in front of everyone.
Probably should have left him there.
Slightly traumatising.
Yeah, I get it. You know, just let the sneakers chill for just at least 24 hours until everyone goes home.
Can you blame Dad, though, wanting to show off the Black & Decker?
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. It's a powerful machine.
It is a powerful machine.
That's awful.
Trish, in Barizzi, what went wrong at the funeral?
We were going on the way to the church and going up a really steep hill. The dog ran out in front of the hearse. The hearse braked suddenly. Back came open. Casket fell out and slid down the hill. And at the bottom of the hill is a pub. The casket ended up in the parking lot of the pub.
Just wanted to have one final drink.
And was the deceased like a bit of a drinker? Like didn't mind a beer?
Oh, yeah, he loved a bit of rum.
Oh, bloody oath. They should have just poured one out for him on top of the casket.
That, to me, sounds like one of those stories where over the years it's just grown arms and legs.
Yeah.
And the body slid out of the coffin and it landed on the bar.
It flopped up and his arm actually hit over one of the beer and he poured himself a beer.
The Ben, Liam and Bell Podcast. Bonny is Australia's favourite fluffy doona brand, made from the highest quality, ethically sourced materials. Bonny is making doonas cool so that you can sleep warm. Who's under the Bonny Doona?
If you are in the market for a new doona, do yourself a favour, and get a Bonny. I can vouch, I've got one at home. They are incredible blankets. You want to know the best thing about them? Is, I don't know about you guys, but whenever you put the blanket inside the bedsheet, I can never get it in the right way.
I do it wrong like 4 times.
Well,
I don't even know if that's possible.
Not with the Bonny, Liam, because they've got a patented weave pattern So you always get it right every time.
Yes.
Now, thanks to Bonnie, we are giving you the chance to win $1,000 cash and a brand new doona. So if you want to play, novafm.com.au. Go there to register. But I thought, why don't we play a game right now? Who's under the Bonnie doona? I got someone under there right now. How you doing, mate? Okay, they said they're doing good. Now, I've got some clues.
Okay.
They start off hard and then they get easier. Buzz in with your
Okay.
name if you want to have a guess, okay?
All right, so Liam and I are going to do a practice run. If you think you can do this, then register novafm.com.au.
All right, who's under the Bonnie doona? I found out I got my biggest role while in the bath.
Belle.
Stanley Tucci. Sorry.
No, it's
sorry,
not.
Buzzing in without names.
It's not. Belle, go.
Let's go Margot Robbie.
It's not Margot Robbie. All right, next one. I played an erectile function farting corpse.
This is so confusing.
Yeah.
Liam, Robin Williams.
No.
Belle, Adam Sandler.
Does seem like a Sandler
Yeah.
role. All right, next one. I can recite the entire aerobic alphabet rap script from memory, and I did so on Jimmy Fallon.
Daniel Radcliffe.
You locking in Radcliffe?
Yep.
Let's find out.
Expecto Patronum! Yes!
He's done it!
Do I get a Bonnie doona?
We got some at work here. You can have one.
Sick.
The boy who lived, come to die. I think I'll leave the impressions to Liam. Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start.
Bonny is Australia's favourite fluffy doona brand, made from the highest quality, ethically sourced materials. Bonny is making doonas cool so that you can sleep warm. Who's under the Bonny doona?
Yep, make sure you register novafm.com.au if you want to play, just like Matt has done. Evening, Matty.
How are ya?
Very good, thanks, mate. You're playing against Felicity in Brizzy tonight. How's your blanket look, Felicity?
Oh, it's a tiny bit old.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you need a Bonnie doona. Look, someone is in the room right now underneath the doona. We can assure you they're okay.
Your job is to work out who is under there. So buzz in with your name. I'm going to give you a clue, and we can see if we can figure it out. Okay, ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, clue number 1. I went by my middle name, Melanie, at the Christian girls' school I attended.
Felicity.
Go for it. 3.
Celine Dion.
It's not Maddie.
No clue.
Okay. Next clue. I feel like I could have been giving you time to Google there, so I'm going to move on from that one.
Yeah.
Next clue. I lost a bunch of weight and wrote a book called Rebel Rising.
Rebel Wilson. Felicity.
Oh!
That was
Hang
a
on.
dog's breakfast, wasn't
That
it? I mean,
was a
we're going to
dog's
need
breakfast.
to dissect that one.
I'm going to the VR. I think it was shouted out, but Matt was the first one to say his name, right? I think Matt was the first one to say his name.
They are the rules.
Rebel Wilson?
Yeah, it's Rebel Wilson.
Jeez.
I'm going to pull the doona off just to double check.
I'm Fat Amy, the best singer in Tasmania.
Well done, Matty. You got yourself $1,000 and a new doona.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
No.
So I think I just got by half a millisecond I got in there, but I really appreciate that. Awesome.
Good on you, Matt.
If you're listening to this podcast at 2 times speed, it's the Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
I know this is a pretty big long shot, but we need as many Tonys to call the show right now, 13 24 10 as we can get. Male, female. If you know a Tony, tell them to call 13 24 10.
Doesn't matter if it's with a Y or with an I, as long as your name's Tony, 13 24 10.
But why do we want Tonys to call up? Well, if you haven't seen, the Tony Awards were on over the weekend.
So it goes what? Like it goes like Oscars, then Grammys.
In terms of popularity?
Yeah, I'd say so. Public opinion.
Yeah.
Oscars, Grammys,
Emmys?
Golden Globes,
Logies.
Logies, then Tonys.
Arias?
No, the Tonys are up there. They're up higher than that.
Well, the Tonys, if you didn't know, they're all about Broadway. They're the Broadway Awards. And none other than Aussie Sarah Snook. She took out the Tony Award for the Best Performance by a Leading Actress And it's actually a Broadway play called The Picture of Dorian Gray, where it's just a solo act. All her. Incredible.
Did she play over 20 roles?
Apparently, yes. I read something, it was either 24 or 26.
That's
which is just
crazy.
Of course she's won it. Like, of course you win an award for that. That's brilliant.
Instead of excellence in theatre, though, this is just quite literally the best Tony. So if you're a Tony with an I or a Y, get in touch. If you're an Anthony, that counts because Tony is a nickname.
What about Antoinette?
Yeah, is that? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'll take an Antoinette. Yeah. Tony 1 joins us now. Tony 1, you work at Woolies, you're 18 years old, and you love to paint and surf. Now, why do you think you're the best Tony in Australia?
Because I just am. No, I have a heart condition since the day I was born, and I'm named after my great-grandfather.
Well, Tony, now I would feel rude if I didn't make you the best Tony.
I mean, yeah. Jeez, it feels like The Voice or something when someone has a really sad story and you're like, you know. Well, yeah, no. I hope you're okay, and Tony, thank you for your call.
Don't go anywhere though, Tony 1, because you could be our favourite Tony.
All right, let's move to contestant number 2, Tony number 2 from Sydney. You are 27 years old. You work in finance and you love sport. You played footy over in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Very cool. Tony number 2, why do you think you're the best Tony?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, I only called up because I wanted to speak some English, having been overseas for so long.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and if you are deemed the best Tony, you could win a prize, and I would say that's a pretty humble reply, Tony.
What other languages can you speak?
I speak Mandarin over here in Hong Kong.
Oh,
Chinese, yeah.
Could you tell
I reckon
us...
I'm definitely the best Tony in Hong Kong.
Could you tell us in Mandarin why you think you're the best Tony?
Oh, okay. Give me a sec. 我觉得我是香港最好的 Tony, 因为我最喜欢 Sydney. I said I thought I was the best Tony in Sydney because I love Sydney.
Wow!
A bilingual Tony's pretty good. It's pretty good.
We do have heart condition Tony.
I know. Yes. But look, there are other Tonys, and it's the Tony Awards, and everyone deserves their platform.
Tony 2, do not go anywhere. We'll come back to you if you're our winner. Let's meet Tony 3 in Sydney. You're 50 years old. You're a school teacher, and you have 7 Tonys in your family?
Yep, I'm the best Tony in Sydney because I have the most Tonys in my family, and I can do it in a bilingual language if you want me to.
Whoa. Hang on. So what language can you speak?
I can speak 2 languages, English and I can speak Arabic.
Oh, could you tell us in Arabic why you think you're the best Tony?
Sure. أنا أحسن توني بأستراليا because عندي 7 توني بعائلته.
Wow. It feels like SBS. The last 30 seconds. We've had Mandarin, we've had some Arabic. We are a very worldly show here.
Tony 3, that's incredible. I want to go back, though, to Tony 1.
Oh, yeah?
Tony 1, can you speak any other languages?
I can speak a little bit of French, but not fluently.
Okay, well, can you say what you know in French?
Bonjour.
Okay.
Italian.
Yeah. Buongiorno. It's like Glorious Bastards. Buongiorno. Look, we had fluent Arabic and Mandarin. It was always going to be hard to beat, but Tony 1, I do think that takes you out of the race at this point.
Whoa!
That's just my opinion.
That's
18.
crazy.
That's just my opinion. You guys still have a say.
She has a heart condition.
I think we have
the other calls are so impressive.
I think we have to give it to Tony 1, right?
Yeah, like Tony 2 didn't really care. So, yeah, and he's really cool, but, was happy to hand it over. Tony 3 does have the most Tonys in her
Tony 3
family.
has 7. Hang on, can we go back to Tony 3? We're doing the Tony Awards. Tony 3.
7 in my family. I attract Tonys.
Run us through all the Tonys. So, what, are they cousins? Are they, uncles, aunties?
I have a father-in-law called Tony, a husband called Tony, a brother called Tony, 2 nephews called Tony. My niece's husband is called Tony, and then I'm a Tony.
Wow. I mean, we got to give it to Tony 3 then, right?
Yeah,
you've got it, Tony 3. Well done.
Thank you.
No worries. Now, Belle, you have to give the bad news to Tony 1.
No, No. See,
Tony one, you tell us.
I am still rooting for Tony number one. Tony number one, I would love to still give you a prize if that's okay. Because I was rooting for you. No.
No, we can't do that.
We can't give it to the person that has the most Tonys.
Belle,
That wasn't the criteria.
It's a hard world. You have to deliver the news.
Tell her she hasn't won.
Tony number one, you this time have not actually won it, but I will still give you tickets to go see the brand new film 28 Years Later, which is in cinemas next week.
Oh, thank you.
Nope, sorry, Tony one. We can't do that. We can't do that.
We'll let the cinema know they are not to be honoured.
They will not be valid, and Tony 3 will be the only winner.
She literally has a heart condition. What is wrong with you two?
That bit was Baby Gronk approved.
Very simple. We have $100 to buy one story. To tease us to buy your story, though, you can only give us 3 words about what happened. Jason in Sydney, only 3 words. What are they?
Champagne, snow, and fun. Oh, fun, sorry.
Oh, and unfortunately, you know it already, I know, but you have been disqualified.
Was it champagne, snow, fun?
Yes, but he
there
said
was and fun, which unfortunately took us over that 3 words or less limit.
Just no.
Rendering Jason
No.
incapable of winning the 100, but we do appreciate his time. Lily, be warned, 3 words or less. Clickbait Mondays, what is it?
Country line dancing.
Country line
Is
dancing.
line dancing 2 words, Lily?
A great question. I also contemplated
That's
that.
okay. Well, it would fit into our or less category if it was just 2.
Okay. To be honest, I know that line dancing is really taking off at the moment, so I would love to hear about that.
But I do wonder how good can a story be about line dancing?
What if Lily fell over and there was the whole debacle?
Well, look, we might pick it. Chantel in Brizzy, 3 words or less. A story on your weekend. What happened?
Managers gone wild.
Managers gone wild.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be that, right? How wild did they get? You know, I want to know.
Are we
but
gonna
the
buy-
line dancing.
Yeah.
Look, Belle's line dancing. I'm all for managers. Ben gets the decision.
We are going to buy and give $100 to Chantel in Brizzy. We've bought your story. Thank you very much. What happened?
So you know what? We all chilling at work, and then the 2 younger managers were like, we're going out on the weekend. And I was like, you know what? I'm like 4 or 5 years older than you. I'll show you how it's done. It turns out we went out until 4 a.m. It was absolutely freezing. There was 2 girls, so we just got picked up left, right, and centre, and it was kind of like, this is not for us.
Yeah.
I think $50 was all we spent, and we stayed out for till 4 a.m. Free entry, free drinks.
Nice.
so.
Chantel, no, I respect that because you know what? I've tried to do, every time I go out with my friends, I'm like, this is the night that we're going to have that moment where they go, the gentleman across the bar bought you this drink. I'm like, this is the time. This is going to happen. And it never does.
I got to say,
Chantel, it's amazing.
I'm really angry.
No.
We chose the wrong story.
I said to go with the line dancing.
I feel like that
so-
was not... Like, I was like, when is it getting... Like, Chantel, I'm sorry, but it was like...
Chantel had a great
Yeah, no, you had a
night.
pleasant night out. I had a pleasant night out on the weekend as well. It was just... It wasn't really a story.
I was
there.
waiting for the story.
It was... I was expecting like a tiger or something, or like someone accidentally, climbed into some sort of enclosure or something wild happened. But yeah,
Look, I am defending Chantel, but I will say I wanted the line dancing, so I want that on the record.
And here's the thing. We'll never know what happened with the line dancing because we didn't buy that story.
And that's it.
Liked that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Belle.